Hello and welcome back to my channel, Angelia Reads, and today I am going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag, and this is my first year doing it. I have been on BookTube for 1 year. I think April was 1 year, and I just didn't do it last year because I was really nervous, and I really want to get into doing some tag videos to get some more content out for this channel, and they're also a little bit quicker to film once I have like everything written down for them. I have started a new job where we moved to, so I am a little bit busy now with that, having a job now, but I'm going to try to get some filming done on my days off, like filming in bulk. So this is the first video I am filming for today, and I'm really excited to do this for the first time. So the first question on there is obviously, basically it talks about, if you have not watched these videos, there are a lot of them, but your best books, your worst books, surprising, disappointing, and books that you still want to get to for the rest of the year. And the first question is the best book that you have read this year. And I have read a little bit over 100 books, so definitely hard to choose that. And I do have a lot of my answers written down in my book journal here, but so I was able to narrow it down to 3 books so far this year, and first one is Don't Kiss the Bride by Carrie Cole. I absolutely have really liked Carrie Cole more this year. I think I read Torn last year, and then I have not gotten into her series yet, her like rock star series that she has done, but I have really loved Don't Kiss the Bride and then Torn and Tied. So I listened to Don't Kiss the Bride on audio. Her books are a little bit longer, but the audio was really good and just really made me fall in love with the characters. And yeah, I really love that book. 5 stars, highly recommend. And then The Doctor by Nikki Salone. This is a ex-boyfriend's dad romance, and I really like this. It was just a fun time, and it really surprised me, and I have really fallen in love with Nikki Salone's books as well this year. And then last is Praise by Sarah Kate. I was not expecting to absolutely like love this or anything. I had no idea what it was really about. I thought it was just going to be like no plot, all smut, but it did have a good plot in there as well. And this is another ex-boyfriend's dad romance. And this is one where I really think that they, after the book ends, like they are still together, living happily ever after. And that makes me really happy. And then the second question is the best sequel. And first I have Welcome to the Dark Side by Gianna Darling. I did start reading the Fallen Men series this year. I still have Dead Man Walking, I think. I have that one, and then her newest one whenever that comes out, hopefully soon. And then out of the series so far of what I've read, I really loved Welcome to the Dark Side. That is the second book. It is a motorcycle romance, and it is a pretty big age gap, but I just absolutely fell in love with those characters, and I went into it completely blind, and I just got shocked within like the first few pages, and it just immediately sucked me in and just kept me going through the whole thing. And then I have 2 more. I have The Sweet Spot by Trish Dollar. This is a traditionally published romance, and the first one is called The Float Plan. That one is a lot more, I don't want to say, it is a little bit depressing and sad because her fiance dies from suicide, and then it's her like working through that and taking a trip. But this is the sister of that book, and it is a plus-size heroine, a single mother, and everything that I absolutely loved. And she goes to Ohio to get a new job, takes her daughter with her, and she ends up being a hotel manager for this hotel that is not even completely finished yet. So she helps actually finish the hotel, and it's like a hotel and brewery kind of place in Ohio. And I still remember, I'm pretty sure the main character's name is Mason, and I still remember the characters and the vibes, and that book is definitely just such a good sequel book. And you can probably read it alone as well, like without reading the first book, but I like reading series in order. And then last but not least, I have Hook, Line, and Sinker, and this is the first book that I have ever highlighted in it. And my tabs kept falling out, and I didn't highlight too much in it, but I just had the urge to highlight it in it. So yes, this is the first book I ever highlighted in it, and I do want to get tabs eventually. The tabs I got did not stick in here, so I just took them out, but I kind of delved into annotating more a little bit with this, and I absolutely love this book, love Tessa Bailey, and this was such a great sequel to It Happened One Summer, and I definitely actually like this more than It Happened One Summer. And then the third question is new releases that you haven't got to yet. So I have The Wedding Crasher on here. I wanted to get to it as soon as it came out, and then I don't know why I never did, but hopefully I can get to it by the end of summer, definitely by the end of this year. This is a fake dating romance centered around a wedding, of course, and it is from the author of The Worst Best Man, which is one of my favorite books from, I think, 2020, so really excited to get to this one. I just haven't got to it yet. And then for some kind of thrillery books, I'm actually going to be reading these for Summerween. Hopefully I have Just Like Mother by Annie Heltzel, and then The Island by Adrienne McKenty. Sorry for the glare, these are library copies, but I am really hoping to read both of these for Summerween. And then the next question is new releases coming out. So I actually have an arc of this, and I'm excited to get to it soon. It is Lizzie Blake's Best Mistakes by Maisie Eddings. This is the author of A Brush with Love, and I really enjoyed that one. So I'm really excited to get to this one. This is about, I think it's her friend Lizzie, and it looks like a really great, I think it has a suitcase on it. I'm pretty sure they might be traveling, and it just looks like a really great rom-com coming out that I'm excited for from an author that I have read from before. And this is another one from an author that I have read from before. It is Kiss Her Once for Me by Allison Cochran, and I'm excited to get to this one as well. It comes out, I believe, in November, if I remember correctly. So I'm excited to get to those two romances. I don't have a lot of indie published romances on here, but one more book that I'm excited to come out comes out in October, I believe, and it is called Quarterback Sneak, and the cover hasn't even been revealed or anything really too much about it, but it is part of this series by Candy Steiner that she is doing. It is a series or standalone pretty much, but I prefer reading it in series. And the first one is, I believe, Fair Play. Second one is Blind Side. And then the third one is going to be Quarterback Sneak. And I am very excited for that one. That cannot come soon enough. I'm really excited. I just finished Blind Side and loved it. So then some disappointments for me are obviously After by Anna Todd. I was definitely in the 2-star range, could not take the back and forth, and just so repetitive. I'm not going to read the rest of the books in the series. I just kind of read it for fun to see what it was all about. And then another disappointment for me was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. And I was going to try to read the whole series, but I just can't get myself to. Maybe one day I will, but I just can't get myself to continue on with that series right now. And then biggest surprise, I talked about this book earlier. It is A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddings. I was really skeptical going into this book. It's compared a lot to the Love Hypothesis, and I didn't love that book, but I really did like it. I think I rated it 4 stars, and I was also worried about all the dentistry talk. I'm like, am I even going to understand this? But I kind of just skimmed past those parts a little bit. It wasn't too bad, honestly, and it definitely is worth it, and I think it was better than The Love Hypothesis, and definitely think that more people need to read it. So if you have not picked up A Brush with Love yet, I definitely recommend that one because it really did surprise me. And then new favorite author, I have talked about these authors before, but definitely Nikki Salone. I have read the Initiation series. I still have the last book in that series. I think it's called the Filthy Rich American series. So I still have the last book to read in that series, but absolutely loved it. And then I read The Doctor. Absolutely loved that one. Hoping to get to The Pool Boy this summer, and I've heard great things about The Architect as well. So she has definitely become one of my new favorite authors. And then next, Candy Steiner. I started reading her for like sports romance, and I do want to read some more of her other books as well. But so far, her sports romance books are so good, and I absolutely love them. And now I see why everybody loves Candy Steiner, because her books are just amazing. And then newest crushes, I have Daniel from Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and this is a younger hero, and the woman is older, and usually I'm not the biggest fan of those books, but this book was so good. And even I was like, I don't like, the younger hero. I think he was like 28. And he was amazing. Like, I think about that book, how good it was. And I live in Minnesota, so I really want to go to her cupcake, store, like bakery, and get a signed copy of that book. That is why I haven't purchased it yet, because I really want to get the signed copy, hopefully one day. And then also Mason from The Sweet Spot. I talked about that book earlier. Absolutely love that book, and really want to have a physical copy of that one as well, because those two guys, Mason and Daniel, definitely like my kind of guy, my fictional crush for sure. And then books that made me cry. Not too many books have made me cry yet this year, but I definitely still have time to find some books that will make me cry. I know of some books that I want to read that people have said like, oh, this will make you cry, but I just haven't been in the mood, because I know I will cry. So I know people are like, oh, this will make you cry. And then the person who's like, oh, no, it won't. I'm really tough. Like, no, if you say it'll make me cry, then it will make me cry. But two books that I have read, which is, I actually do have that one. I don't know why I didn't take it off my shelf, but Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I think I want to reread this one day for sure. I was just kind of reading it quickly, so I didn't annotate it. For the Sugar and Spice book club, I read it mostly on my Kindle, but I definitely do want to reread this again someday. And after you read it, you will see like more of what the cover means. And it is just, first of all, it's a beautiful book. And second of all, you will definitely cry. I cried a ton reading this book, but that is mostly what I do with Colleen Hoover books. And then next I have The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvez Graves. I don't know what compelled me to pick up this book, but I was like, oh, it's a romance. I really want to get into, I really want to try a new author. And that is whenever I read this book, and it definitely made me cry for sure. And then on the opposite note, books that made me happy, I have The Wrong Game here by Candy Steiner. Again, this was my second Candy Steiner book, and it did what it was supposed to do. It made me happy. The audiobook was great, and the main characters of that I really enjoyed as well. And then movie adaptation, I do not have an answer for that. I have read After, and I think that's the only movie adaptation that I have read this year. So maybe later on this year I will have an answer for that, but right now I don't have a answer for the movie adaptation question. And then most beautiful book, so I have Royals Next Door. I literally bought this because of the cover, pretty much, and yeah, it is really beautiful. I really love florals, and anything with floral is definitely going to catch my eye. That's just me. So that is one book that I have. And then I also have Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. As soon as I saw that cover, I was like, wow, that cover is gorgeous. Like, it's real people on it, which I don't normally love, but the couple and like the colors on this cover are just gorgeous to me. And then lastly, I have the Always Only You by QB Tyler. And this, I'm talking about both of the covers, but I really would like to get the special edition of this cover because that one is definitely gorgeous. And then the last question is just books I need to get to or want to get to by the end of the year. Obviously, these books I said I would like to read for Summerween, The Island, and Just Like Mother. And then I just have some thrillers here because I am starting to get back into thrillers a little bit more. So I have My Dearest Darkest by Kayla Cottingham. And I got this a while ago and just kind of have been waiting for like fall time to read. And then I have 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph and What Lies Between Us by John Mars. And What Lies Between Us was recommended to me to read this year, like the 12 books to read, like recommended by friends. So I definitely do want to get to that one. And yeah, I just want to kind of get to, like I said, I am getting a little bit back into thrillers, but obviously this year romance is my first love. I've been reading a lot more romance, but I just wanted to put some thrillers on here just to remind you that I still do read some thrillers and I want to read a little bit more before the end of the year. So go ahead and pop down your favorite emoji in the comments and let me know your favorite and least favorite book if you would like to. And thank you so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.